Hey guys, Explorer4 here, Horrorboy465. Welcome back to some more reviews. And today I got a little bit of a random review on WWE 2K18. Only because I was planning to review it, for the longest time back when I first got it, and I was unable to because, as you guys know, my computer was not working. So I pretty much had to push that review back, and that's why you guys are going to be seeing a bunch of random reviews, because these are videos I had to push back to later dates because my computer wasn't working and this one didn't have a charger. But yeah, so today I was actually getting ready to deep clean my room because the room is a freaking mess right now. But I was figuring before I did that, I would shoot this video real quick, and then while this is uploading, start cleaning my room. So today I got to be a housemaid to my room. I know. But it really is getting pretty bad, though, guys. So I figured I would clean it because it is getting pretty bad. But I figured I would review this game really quick because, I hadn't reviewed the previous game from last year. And I'll get into that reason in a second. But I wanted to review this game because it's a game that actually interested me this year. A game that I really looked forward to. And I want to give you guys my thoughts on WWE 2K18. Now, of course, this is for the PS4. As far as consoles go, I think, honestly, it's about the same on both consoles, PS4 and Xbox One. There's not really any difference in WWE 2K18 on both consoles. Not that I'm aware of, at least. But 2K18. Now, as you guys know, I reviewed 2K16 2 years ago, I believe. 2 years ago, back when it first came out. And if you guys are curious, I won't use this too much on game reviews because, I don't really like to use this. I don't really like to use IMDb for games because you really can't get too much other than the rating. But the rating is a 7.7, and if I compare it to WWE 2K16, which I actually do want to see what that rating is really quick. So this is a 7.7. 2K16 was a 7.4, so this gets a higher rating than 2K16. And to kind of say that I would honestly agree with that, but to kind of say that it is a better game than 2K16, I don't know. And it kind of leads into the reason why I did not buy 2K17, and it was because 2K17 was like the same game. And, this is probably going to be a controversial issue, I don't know. This is just my opinion, but, I'm a huge fan of WWE, obviously. I got a Finn Balor shirt on right now. Me and Colton do a bunch of WWE-related videos, usually broadcasts. I've done wrestling reviews. I've done all that stuff. Not a whole lot of them, but I have done, a few of them on this channel. And when it comes to WWE games, I just noticed that, 16 was a really great game, but 17 really did not seem any different. And from 15 to 16, there was a big difference. From 14 to 15, there was a big difference. Not really in a good way, but in a bad way. But still, 15 compared to 14 was terrible, because 14 was just one of the best WWE games I've played. But 15 was just missing a lot of stuff. But even if you compare it to 15 to 16, there was some new stuff in 16. There was, a bigger roster, an actual story mode, which, there was a 2K showcase in the previous game. But, in 2K16, I thought the graphics were a little bit more better. The arenas were a little bit more better. There was updates, there was new stuff, and an actual, a brand new updated WWE game. But when it came to 2K17, I just noticed that, watching the trailers for it, and it was barely hyped. Honestly, it was probably one of the more worst hyped WWE games out there. And even this one, I like the game. I bought it because it did look like it was trying to progress forward with this franchise. But, even this, which I'll get into my actual opinions in a second, where I stand with this game, compared to 17, I thought this one did more of a step up than 17 did. For me, 2K17 looked like the same game, with the same graphics, with the same, cutscenes, the same entrances, the same roster practically. Um, DLCs really didn't excite me. The lack of a story mode and still lack of a story mode kind of sucks. I believe in 2K17 they changed some stuff as well. I mean, you had the backstage brawl. You know, that is pretty cool. But, you know, you have to have a little bit more than just, you know, and honestly, I can even say the graphics 2K17 really didn't look like it was a big step up from 2K16. Of course, in this game, I can say differently. I thought this one was a massive step up. But 2K17 just seemed like the same game as 2K16. And I get it. People are going to say, well, Nate, they got to make a game every year. So if they have to make a game every year, they can't change it dramatically. And I understand that, but, you know, the community has been saying this forever. I mean, the fact that we still have these problems and they're not getting fixed in these games, and also the lack of just an actual update to the games, like an updated feature, maybe like something that would make these games separate from one another instead of just being, oh yeah, these three are kind of like the same games, like WWE 12 and 13. To me, those games are very similar. They have similar looking graphics. They have similar rosters, and 13 and 12 I felt were very similar games. You know, 2009, 10, and 11, those all, in my opinion, felt like the same games. For me, 14 was when they really went out there and they said, okay, we're going to make it a little bit similar to the previous games, but we're going to also change a big portion of this game. And that's why 14 ended up being one of the best games out there, because they really went in, they really changed it, and, you know, it was this big deal, and we all really liked it. 15, the reason why I felt like I didn't like 15 is because they focused on, I think, mechanics too much. You know, oh yeah, the graphics are better, gameplay is more smoother, it's next gen, and we have a story mode. Oh yeah, and Universe is there, but, you know, Universe is the same. For me, 15 had a small roster. It had just the way that it looked, like, okay, the graphics were technically, they were better than 14, but the way they have this tone to the game has this gray look to it, and it kind of drained all color from the game. And I don't know, I'm getting picky with it, but the main big problem with that game is it was focusing too much on, alright, here's what the game looks like, this is how it functions, and that's what we're going to just focus on this year. Because its 2K Showcase was, you know, decent. It was alright. But, you know, it wasn't really like as good story mode as like 2006 and 7 or any other previous game story modes. Those story modes were actually really good. 2K14, you had the WrestleMania story mode, which was freaking awesome. And then we got to freaking 15, and it was like 2K Showcase, the John Cena CM Punk rivalry, which was pretty, I'll be honest, it was pretty good. And the Triple H and Shawn Michaels rivalry. And that was pretty good. But I don't think it really held up compared to like 2007, 2006, and 2014's game, 2K14. The story mode in 15 really did not live up to what those set as standards go. And I feel like just 15 in general was just a mess. I mean, yeah, it ran better and it had better graphics, but that was about it. The 2K Showcase was decent. You know, the Universe mode, I didn't really play Universe mode at that time. I don't think, did it have my career? It had my career, but my career I heard sucked in that game. And, yeah, I mean, it was the first game to introduce NXT Superstar. I was getting into, like, the actual video games, which is pretty cool, because you had, like, Adrian Neville, Sami Zayn, Corey Graves, Rusev, and I think that's about it. Is there anybody? I don't think there's anybody else. But, you know, and you had, like, you know, of course, new people on the roster. You had, like, Bray Wyatt, the Usos, which the Usos were, I think, a DLC pack in 2K14, I think. But you had, like, these newer superstars in the roster. But the roster was freaking small. There was barely anybody to choose from. And I think that game, 2K15, which I know I'm going way off from 2K15. I can make a whole video talking about 2K15. But 2K15's problem focused too much on mechanics. 2K16 came out. They said, okay, we're going to have it look great, but we're also going to have a new realistic gameplay option. We're going to have a Steve Austin showcase mode. We're going to have... I still didn't play Universe. This is honestly the first game I played Universe mode in. I know it's terrible, but I avoided Universe mode for the longest time because for me, I just didn't really get into it. I got into this game, but I really didn't get into it when I played 2K16, so I avoided WWE Universe. My career was actually really good. It had the promos and the actual voice acting. I liked that. That was pretty cool. And, you know, the game just felt like it was an actual step up. There was this massive roster. You had at the time the biggest roster of all time. You had like Finn Balor. You had the guys from NXT in there. You had like the Vaudevillains. You had Neville when he came to the main roster. I think that was his debut game. Yeah, it had to have been because 2K15 was his NXT game. Was when he was NXT. So 2K16 had to be when he first debuted in the roster. So you had like this new roster. You had new talent on there. A good balance between like new talent and, you know, the legends, and, you know, great idea which 2K14 introduced it, where it's the jukebox mode, which I thought really worked in this game, or 2K16 really good. And I don't know, just 2K16 was a really good game. And then all of a sudden 17 came out. And I seen the commercial for 17, and everybody was asking me if I was going to get it. And I'm like, I'm not. It doesn't look interesting to me. And 2K17 was based off of 2016's wrestling year, and I was not a big fan of 2016's wrestling year. That year of WWE was just not good. I was not really a big fan of WWE's content in 2017, 2016. Oh my goodness, I'm sorry. Freaking saying 2K and 2000s. I get freaking mixed up in this review. But yeah, 2016, I was not really a big fan of the year for wrestling, and the game was barely hyped. Like, seriously, it was barely hyped. That WrestleMania was barely hyped as well. But the game barely had any hype to it at all. I seen probably maybe 2, 3 trailers, a Goldberg trailer, a Suplex City trailer. That was it. I was like, this is really supposed to hype me? Yeah, the Goldberg one was pretty good. The Suplex City one was pretty good. But it felt like the games before, it was very hyped. All the new games coming out, play it now. 17 was like, oh yeah, new games coming out. Oh, you got Goldberg, you got Suplex City with Brock Lesnar, front cover superstar, which is pretty cool. But that's all we got. There was no story mode, and it was practically a copy-paste game from 2016, at least in my opinion. But to actually get to 2K18, I know I've been rambling on this video, but, you know, these reviews are usually pretty long, so I like to add a little bit of detail in them. But that's pretty much where I stand right now with WWE games. And, you know, to talk about this game real quick, 2K18, I feel like it is a step up. It actually tried to have effort to improve itself. And that's why I got it, because it seemed like they were trying to take a step forward. Granted, no story mode. Big problem with this game. No story mode still. No showcase, no story mode, no nothing. That is a big problem with this game. And I don't count my career as a story mode. I'm sorry, I don't. Because there are cutscenes, but they're like default cutscenes. And also there's no freaking dialogue in my career mode. But will I say, is this game better than 2K16? I think detail-wise, yes. It looks better. It's more, when you're actually wrestling, I think it plays better. But do I think concept-wise, is it better than 2K16? I have to say no, because 2K16 introduced a brand new concept with the simulation gameplay, the Steve Austin story mode, and all this stuff. And 2K18 is like, it increased the graphics. You still have Backstage Brawl. You still have My Career. And for me, this universe is really fun to play in this game. But I feel like it's still missing something. I feel like there's something still in this franchise that WWE has not nailed. Heck, I was watching my cousin play NBA 2K18 or 17 or whatever. And that was honestly a pretty good My Career mode, or whatever they got in that game. That was honestly a pretty good mode. It had dialogue. It had it to where even before you even came to the NBA, and that was freaking awesome. I think Madden also has it as well. So WWE is a little behind on that because we got freaking. You start off in NXT. In this game, there's no dialogue, which I don't know if it's for better or for worse because the freaking dialogue of 2K16 was freaking horrifying. But in this game, there's no actual dialogue. It's all subtitles. You don't really get to customize your character that much. You're very limited on your customization in My Career. And what sucks about this game also, not with this game, but about My Career in this game, is that most of it is like, oh, if you buy this, maybe you can get this amount of skills, or maybe if you can pay for this, trying to get more money out of you, which still debating if I can get DLCs or not. I don't know. I don't really get DLCs in WWE games because in the next year's game, those DLCs are usually free, so you're paying for something that'll be free in a year. But, it depends. The Matt and Jeff Hardy one, the Legends pack might get me. I might get that one because I want to see Matt and Jeff Hardy in a WWE game again, which is freaking another freaking problem with this game. Matt and Jeff Hardy debuted at WrestleMania 33. This game features WrestleMania 33. It has updated attires, has all that, but yet you can't put Jeff and Matt Hardy in this game in the default roster. Why? Because we can make money off of them. And that's the freaking bottom line of that freaking thing. They can make money off of it. So, oh yeah, we're not going to put Matt and Jeff Hardy in the game because we can make money off of it. So let's put them in a Legends pack. I'm like, that's freaking ridiculous, WWE. That's freaking ridiculous. I don't know if it's WWE or 2K or both, but that was freaking, insanely cheap of you guys to do. Because they know people want to play as Matt and Jeff Hardy. They know that, so like, well, we're going to put it in there, but we'll have them in DLC. Why? They could have been in the default roster easily. Because they debuted, re-debuted, or returned at, WrestleMania 33. There's enough time between then and when this game came out to actually have Jeff and Matt Hardy on the default roster. But no, it's because we can make more money off of that. So that's a little bit of a problem as well. Also, My Career is a little weak in this game. There's no story mode. And this game is the only WWE game that I've had that freaking crashes and crashes and crashes and crashes. This game crashed so many times. I could not believe it. It got updated at least 3 times like the first week. I think like 4 times past 2 weeks. The first and second week, probably about 3 to 4 updates in 2 weeks. Freaking updates, guys. I'm talking about little, here and there. No, freaking updates on this game. And it freaking was irritating because it would update after it crashed and I lost all my data. Okay, created characters are all gone. My universe mode is gone. My career mode is gone. Everything is gone. Start from again. Alright, get back on there. Play it for about a month or 2. About maybe a month. I don't know if it's that much time. But freaking be playing it, crashes, get back on, data is corrupted, must delete your data, and start again. The only WWE game to do that to me. The only freaking WWE game. And it freaking is irritating to be right in the middle of playing it, and that freaking crap happened. It was freaking irritating. It really was. It was making me mad. So is it a perfect game? I would not say it is. Overall, I feel like detail-wise, it's better than 2K16, but concept-wise, it's the same thing, practically. Which is why, if 2K19 is, get 2K19, get 2K19. And if it looks the same, I'm not going to get it, because, the game is good. I can play it, it's fun, it has a giant roster, it has fun ideas to it. And by the way, Seth freaking Rollins is on the front cover. Seth freaking Rollins. You want to know what his rank is in this game? His overall? About an 80-something. An 80-something on your cover superstar. He should be like a 90-something. At least I think it was an 80 something. Real quick, I'll be right back. I'm gonna go check and see if it was an 80 something. Well, actually, it is 92. It's not an 80 something. I thought it was like an 80 something. I could have sworn it was like an 89, 88, something like that. Okay, so it was not an 80 something, but still, it's a low 90. It's like 92, 91. What was it? What did it say? 90, 92. Yeah, 92. But still, there's other superstars that are much more higher ranked than Seth Rollins, which is freaking crappy. And also, with this game, Seth Rollins, the cover superstar, usually the cover superstars get like, this brand new moves. I'm not gonna complain too much on it because he has a new entrance, he has an updated attire, he has probably like one of the I think he has like a face scan, so the model for Seth Rollins is pretty cool. And they did give him a lot of stuff for being the cover superstar. But I could have sworn he had an 80 something overall. I was about to flip out if he had like an 80 something. And maybe he did. Maybe I looked on the wrong list. But I swear if he has like an 80 something, I'm freaking flipping. But right here it said 92. So he has a lower ranking than Roman Reigns, but still, I thought they could have done more Seth Rollins as a cover superstar. But I'm not going to brag about it too much. But, overall, I mean, the game, it's good, it's fun to play, but do I think it's the best one so far? Not really. I think it's detail-wise, it's better looking than 2K16, but it's about the same with 2K16. It's not like it's like freaking way up here past 2K16. It's a good game, has problems obviously, but it is very similar to 2K16, which is why 2K19 looks the same. I'm not going to buy it because, it's the same game practically. But it is a fun game to play. I know it sounds like I'm ranting on it, but freaking there are problems with these games that WWE is not fixing, and that's what's getting me mad about the game. But the game overall is fun to play. Besides the crashing and the fact that it's not much more of a different game than 2K16, it's fun to play. It's not terrible, but it's probably on the same level of 2K16. I don't think it's much more better than 2K16. But anyways, guys, wanted to do this really quick review on WWE 2K18. I want to do this review because I've been wanting to do it for a while, and now that I'm back doing videos again, I figure I'd record it now. But anyways, guys, thanks for watching the review on WWE 2K18, and I'll see you guys in the next review. The Explorer 4 out. Bye, guys.